What's going on, people? We train dogs.
All right, Michael.
Hey, I'm Michael. We train dogs too. If that's what you call it. It was pretty bad. McGee's dog cheated a whole piece of water. You should have seen it.
Ran a really nice blind, though.
Jesus God, that dog's so bad. Are we recording?
We always record.
Hey, you
Put
ran
that
a
on
really
there.
nice blind.
Oh, yeah, but he didn't get to the blind.
We always record.
He didn't get to the blind, Jeff, so his ass was out on the marks.
We were in it was a water series, which is the fourth. I got carried to the third at least.
To the third.
Shit. All right.
All right, well, guys, welcome to PBHQ right here in Whaleyville, Maryland. Barrows Outdoors. I always want to put an S on the outdoors. It's outdoor.
Yeah, me too,
Yeah,
Jeff. I do.
I struggle with that.
I have the same problem.
Yeah, I struggle with saying Barrows. I got the S down on that, but I want to say the S kind of wants to be on the outdoors, but outdoor.
Yeah, it is on somebody's, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, I think that's why we couldn't do it. But
Oh, well, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I copy what you're saying. Yeah. But Michael Wallace, McGee Porter, guys, thank you very much.
Thank you for having us, Jeff.
Thank you.
What a
100%.
treat this has been. Let me start this by saying your hospitality is unmatched. Guys, if you want to have a good time with good folks, come here.
It's just because Karen.
Yeah, Karen, she's
sitting-
absolutely
she's
the glue
sitting next to
holding
me
it
here,
together.
And she can cook.
Yes, and will.
We didn't get to do much grilling, but we do like to fire the camp chef up, and well, we had it for the burgers, but yeah. What is I know? Well, I guess I really don't know 100%. Barrows. What is Barrows Outdoor?
So we started Bears Outdoor because we were out there training, trialing every weekend, training every day, and just got tired of using the same stuff. We were buying everything under the sun, trying different whistles, trying bumpers, leashes, and just continually having problems with what we were using. We were never satisfied with it, never happy with it. And I got looking around, and I was in college at the time, taking an entrepreneurship class, and had a project come up with a product. I said, well, I can do this. I went to the Creative Hub, is what they called it at the school I went to, and taught myself CAD a little bit, and grabbed some super glue and threw some stuff together, and kind of came up with something. Then I figured out a way to come up with it a lot better. And the whole inspiration behind that is you look at these pros that show up with trucks full of dogs. You can fit 15, 16 dogs on a truck, and they're all have an extensive amount of training. A lot of time's been put into them. A lot of money's been put into them. And a lot of these people, especially for your pros that are training client dogs, those client dogs are the extension of someone's family for a lot of people. And I was like, these dogs deserve to have quality equipment. The people that are training them deserve to have that quality equipment to use, to where every time I show up in the field, we don't spend 30 or 40 minutes. Let me jerry-rig this together and tape that together just so we can get a day of training done the most effective way that it can be done. Mm-hmm. And so that's where I kind of said, we need to start building some stuff that people can use and people can rely on, and they don't have to worry about it. And if something ever happens to a product, we stand behind it. We'll replace it. We're happy to, and because our whole goal is to grow the sport, give people every tool that they need to create a successful dog, and whatever definition of successful dog it is to your regard, and stay in the field and spend more time training and less time worrying. Is this going to break on me? Oh, is this whistle going to make the same noise as it usually does, or is it clogged up? And now my dog's not going to sit on it because he's a year old, and I just got done doing the spin drill with him, and now I'm getting them to blinds. And want to give people that consistency with our products the entire way through.
I love, and if anyone listening does not know about the blue ribbon whistle, that's actually how I got in contact with it, right? Ordered one, and I was looking to change up. We usually have, this little guy right here, that's what I was using. Hurts my ears. Like my hearing is not good anyway, but it blows my ears. and I wanted to make a switch. I'm trying to think where I saw something. Can I say Green Monster?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I mean, we all set that. They set the standard.
All right. So somebody had the Green Monster. I'm like, man, I want to, like, can I find a Green Monster? That's how I found the Blue Ribbon whistle.
Yeah.
So I started looking online and like Googling and searching and eBay, this, that, the other, and through that is how I found the Blue Ribbon.
Yeah.
So
and going on the Green Monster, I mean, that's a lot of our inspiration, and part of what drove me is, I'm training with a lot of older people who've been doing it for a long time, and they're using Green Monsters and talking about how good they are. And I was very active training my dog from the time he was young to when I kind of quit trialing them for a little while because life got in the way, and so I tried to find a Green Monster, and I came across a couple, and people were wanting $300, $400, $500 for them, and this is a whistle that hadn't been made in 30 years. And I was like, man, I don't know how you justify spending $500 on a whistle. And I thought, think about all the people that just want that product and are willing to spend that much money on it just because of how good it is, because they think they're going to get that much more success and that much better communication with their animal because of that one whistle. I said, I think everybody in this sport deserves to have something like this, and that's what our goal's been with our whistle and any product we make.
So starting off here, well, I'm all over the place. Let's stop. So you're here. Why are you in Maryland? How about that? Let me ask that.
So we came up in Maryland and meet our man Jeff Coates here at Pitboss HQ, where he's been most hospitable, and we've had a phenomenal time. Got to train some dogs yesterday and a little bit this morning. It's been hot, so it's been a little difficult. We had a content crew with us and was getting some content for our website, for the social media, and to start really trying to put a lot of power behind Barrows and continue to grow our brand and our company.
I was just going to say, to grow the brand.
Yeah,
right?
we really want to grow the brand and expand our product line, because there's just, when I look at it, there's just so many things out there people need to train a dog. And we want to be able to provide that to those people, and also for hunting dogs as well, and make good products for hunting. I think there needs to be a company out there that is dog forward and thinks about the dogs. Granted, the dog's not someone that can tell you if they like the product or don't like the product, but that's who we're building our products for. Easy to use for the handler and effective for the dog.
Awesome. So current day here, mid-August, what are the products that someone can find on your webpage?
Mid-August right now, we got our bumpers, our whistles, and I'm sure by the time this podcast comes out, we'll have collars, leashes, leads, check cords, training tabs, a whole plethora of stuff.
Cool.
We've got a lot more coming down the pipe.
Awesome. Karen, questions?
Just what direction
interject.
Are you going with your products? You're looking to expand your line overall, right?
Yeah, we're looking to expand our line. Really, if you asked me where I wanted to be 5 years from now, we'd want to have an entire line of products that you could train a retriever, a pointer, any kind of working animal with, and also have the same products that are effective in the field for hunting, and keep dogs protected, give a handler or whoever the dog owner is something that's easy to use in the field. I know I hunt a lot, and there's so many things I'm like, this is a pain to lug around, and it doesn't fold up and it breaks, and just thinking of things that dogs need, and how also those same products can help that dog succeed more in whatever environment they're put in.
For us personally, how long do we need to wait for your stickmen to come out?
In due time.
In due time, all right.
I can't give you a date on that right now. We're working on it.
All right, awesome.
I wish sooner.
That's kind of a thing that's kind of been high on our or for Karen and I.
Well, it's not going to come out till it's right, Jeff.
Okay. Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah, and I'm the breaker, so.
You're the breaker?
Yeah, I test all of our equipment, and you've trained with me, so you could see that if it could hold up under me, we're good to warranty.
Yeah.
For y'all that you don't know, if you can break it, Mike will figure out a way. It's impressive.
Well, the blue ribbon whistle one day in the T350, the door caught it, and kind of we hang off. Karen's seat is really where all on the headrest. That's where all the whistles hang off. And I don't know, we were kind of elevated or angled, and anyway, I thought I broke it, but it didn't break.
Yeah.
But I thought I broke. I put some good marks in it.
Yeah.
But it held together.
And that's one thing I've been working with our manufacturer recently to work on is a couple of them have broken out there, and that's something that probably frustrates me more than it does the person whose whistle it is. And we've been working with them to keep the same sound, the same quality, keep it just as easy to blow, but make it durable. I've when I talk to those people, like, well, how do you want this? I said, I want a truck to drive over it, and you don't have to worry about it.
Then it'd weigh too much.
It would, but
that's a battle that you're fighting.
I'm always shooting on the very ambitious side of things with everything that we do.
Gotcha.
Tell me what I can't do, and then figure out how to do it.
Copy that. What's that now?
Conspirator Michael.
Here,
What's his story?
lean in, love, so you can.
I'd like to hear Michael's story.
Okay.
We know McGee.
We do know McGee.
So,
Well, we sort of know McGee. I didn't realize, Michael, you can maybe explain this a little bit more. He was an All-American in high school?
Yeah, I didn't either, and I couldn't have been more surprised if I'd have woke up with my head sewed to the carpet.
I'm a physical specimen, y'all.
He is. Yeah.
And wait,
He is that.
I don't want to take away from you, but All-American in what? What
I
sport?
played lacrosse.
Lacrosse, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I played lacrosse.
All right, this one. I mean, I knew that, but I just.
Yeah. Now the world knows.
There's not many built like me, Jeff.
It's all good. I played lacrosse for a little bit. I think 9th and 10th grade I enjoyed it. And, our goalie was, I remember our goalie well. He was kind of a wild or crazy guy. But anyway, Michael,
makes a lot of sense.
Good, I'm sorry. I cut you off there.
I don't know what I was talking about.
Yourself.
Yeah, yourself.
Oh, yeah. McGee and I met, and he was real passionate about the whistles, and I'm just a dog guy, Jeff. Mm-hmm. I love the sport. I love the animals. I love the people, most of them that are associated with it. And, I really have enjoyed starting this business and getting to meet new people like yourself, you and Karen, and, getting to know different families and what all's involved in your training program and what you do, and it really helps us in product development, because not everybody trains the same way, and something you may love, some other guy just doesn't like it all, or doesn't use, or doesn't seem to think it's effective, and it's a tool that you use. And that's kind of where we're at now. We're trying to, our passion is the field trials and the competitions and the hunt test, and McGee's passion is more of a duck hunting situation. And we're just trying to kind of play the fence and reach everybody and let everybody understand that this is just not a hunting product, just not a field trial product. My theory has always been, if I would carry one to the duck blind, I want to use the exact same equipment that I've trained that animal with. I don't want it to look any different. I don't want it to weigh different. I don't want it to feel different. I want him to think he's in the same training situation that we've always been in, except ducks are going to start falling right in front of him. And that's kind of where I'm at. I like good product. I'm willing to pay for good product. And I want to produce good product that is not going to be the cheap guy in town. You're not going to see it in Walmart, but you are going to need it if you're serious. And anybody that takes the time, I feel like, to train a retriever from start to finish is serious. And if you don't believe it, mess with somebody's dog, and you'll find out how serious they are. It like McGee alluded to, it is absolutely a member of their family, and some of them I think more of than I do my own family. Well, not my close family, but
Understood.
Maybe some extended family.
Understood.
But yeah, I'm just a dog guy, Jeff, and I love the sport, and I love to travel and compete and go train with my buddies, and meet new people and spend some time on the road, and just things like this. Last night was a ball, sitting around your fire out here. That's what I like about what Barrows Outdoor brings to me. I'm a plumbing contractor by trade, and and I'm sort of at a different phase of my career than McGee is. And it's really, I know you feel, we're probably similar in age, and you feel the same way, that when you see young guys that are trying to make a difference in the sport, it's uplifting. Because I don't know what field trials you're going to, but most of them that I go to, I'm one of the youngest guys there. And I'm kind of the new guy on at a field trial, and I'm still meeting people and learning people. Unfortunately, I've been in situations where the right people have introduced me to the right people and told me kind of, hey, this guy here can help you. Don't mess around over here. This guy here will get you where you need to be, and that kind of thing. And that's the only reason I do it. If it was just about the work or profit, I would simply just do plumbing. But I love this. I wish I didn't have to do plumbing, and this was all I had to do right now. And hopefully one day it'll be like that. And I just plan for McGee and I to kind of be ambassadors for the sport. And I think if people believe in us and believe in our products and believe in our mission, that we will be those ambassadors for the sport. And when you need somebody to come alongside you to stand up for you and your animal, we want to be that person that comes alongside you and say, hey, maybe your state's passing laws that are going to keep you from being able to enjoy the sport you want to. We want to be the people that stand up for you, along with other companies that supply. I think it's a responsibility of all of ours to protect not only the people that buy from us, but the people that love the sport as much or more than we do.
Yeah, I think it is an older group. There's a lot of things. I don't know if I would group duck hunting into it, but definitely like decoys, ducks, dogs, and decoys. Right? It's just an older.
They're dying. Yeah,
it's like there's not the new wave. The younger generation, is not necessarily coming in. With my first dog Coot, I did run some amateurs with her, and so it's been like 20 plus years ago. And there was 80, 90 dog opens in the amateurs, right? In the fall here, I guess the Maryland trial, there was 25 dogs in the open. Yeah. And it is kind of getting a little bit smaller group of people.
Then you got a master test that you can't get in.
Yeah,
and I hear that from the hunt test community all the time. I know we're just talking, Jeff. I jump all over the place. Sorry, but
no.
I hear that from the hunt test crowd all the time. Is I need a workers code. I need this, and it was so. I'm like, golly, so many people want to go in their hunt test, and how do we ignite that passion back into field trials and make it for an amateur that maybe is on the fence, thinking I may have a dog that can compete in a queue. How do we build that person up, get them through the queue, and get them into an all-age field trial? And I know that's 2 more years, 3 more years of work.
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep that young person inspired to a point where they want to compete in an all-age field trial? And then how do you make them feel welcome once they get there? Because I've been on both ends of that. I mean, I pulled up to field trials and if I didn't speak to somebody, I would have sat there all day and not talked if my bunch wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
If my buddies wasn't there, my crowd wasn't there, maybe I'm out of pocket traveling. I said, hey, I can catch this one on the way home from Michigan or wherever I'm coming from. And you pull up at a field trial, and some people, now don't get me wrong, I'm erring on the side of 8 of 10. 8 of them are going to say, hey, what's your name? Welcome, want you to make you feel welcome. Here's where everything is. Here's what we're doing. But it's the 2 of the 10 that really give, and what if that young person is McGee and he decides to go run a queue, and he can only go in a certain geographical area. He's in college, he's in, young father or family guy, has to be at home working, and he can only go to North Carolina, South Carolina, and maybe Virginia at times, Southern Virginia. And what if that's his geographical footprint? What if that's where the problems are? Then we lose that kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so critical for the success of what all of us do, not only that, but the future of the sport, to recruit young kids that want to play both games or want to play my game. My game's the field trial game. I don't have a desire to run a hunt test. I think there's absolutely a place for it. They do so much for our sport. They pump money into our sport that otherwise some of these field trial groups couldn't survive. And we talked about that the other night. If some of these clubs did not, and I was in one of them, and if we did not have a hunt test, we could not have produced enough profit to pay our leases and have grounds to train on and have field trial. The field trial was a liability, and we did it because it was something we wanted. Certain members wanted to have that, but it never made us any money, and it's really hard for field trial only groups, to do it right now.
Yeah. Entry fees, and just kind of, we just entered a derby at $115.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Don't pull up your total expenses there for sure.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do
it's
it.
like getting your taxes back when you've had a good year. You're like, oh no,
Yeah,
your taxes are ready. Oh no, thought you'd never call.
For those of you that are ambitious, you can go on Entry Express and see your lifetime spend on there.
Well, there you go. That's why I was just.
I don't know if I recommend doing it, but you can do it.
I was going to make sure Karen understood what you guys were talking about on that one. Okay, all right. I just want to make sure you knew. Good. So, field trial, hunt test. What do you got? What's your guys' opinion on like Super Retriever Series?
Yeah,
it's a completely different game than what a hunt test or a field trial is. If you ask me, there's, I think some of the people that are really successful at it understand the game and understand the point system better than anything. Michael can tell you better than me, but there's been some really successful dogs that have in the Super Retriever Series that have been good field trial dogs.
Yeah.
But there's also been some really successful dogs that probably wouldn't make it through the first series of an open. I think it's still a part of the sport. It's still a retriever sport. That's an extension of what we're doing. I think for me, it's very interesting to watch and learn and kind of understand, and it's because it is just so different than anything you train for. Because for those of y'all that don't run field trials, you take your hunt test training and make it a lot bigger, make it a lot more complex, and put a lot more thought into your setups, and that's essentially field trial training. The tests are close to the same with a size difference and a complexity difference. The Super Retriever Series, that's a completely different style of training.
To me, and I know a lot of people that are, to help get this thing off the ground. And Jeff, to be completely honest, I didn't take it seriously. When I saw some of the stuff they were doing, I just didn't take it seriously. And then I started to watch it a little more. They do a great job of getting it where you can see it on TV and YouTube or whatever they had it on. But I remember watching a couple of them. I think Stephen Durrance was down there for that one. And Carl Black, one of our good friends, he's real involved there. Jeff Henderson and that crowd. And at one point, was a client of Justin Hergert's, and he was real motivated by the SRS and encouraged me with certain dogs to get into it and try it, and never did. And they were talking about how much fun they were having doing it, and they had one at Emporia, and I was up there training her or something, and Carl said, go around there and watch it. And doggone if them boys wasn't having more fun than I've seen at a field trial or a competition of any, a dog competition in a long time. They were really, every move they made, they knew, the good ones knew what they were going to make when the dog got there. And the number of handles and the way they count points, and that was a little bit confusing to me. But what I saw there was a group of about 25 fierce competitors on a Wednesday getting after each other and having a good time doing it. I would encourage anybody to run any of them and see what suits you. But if I wasn't in field trials right now, I'd play that SRS game for sure.
I think it's a great way that keeps the sport going and keeps I remember when I got my first dog and he was a puppy, I was trying to figure out what I could do with him, and you don't see a whole lot of field trial videos online, but you can find some SRS videos on YouTube. So I was watching.
Good stuff too, man. Dogs going over a boat and, in and out of boats and just hunting, field trial. You get it all there.
Fun,
you'll get white coat stuff.
Fun stuff, and then it's watching Lyle Steinman and Steven Durrance and Chris Aiken, and I remember watching these dogs, and I didn't know anything about them. My dog was still taking dumps in the house at this point. I said, that's what I want out of my dog. I was like, that is so cool.
Congratulations. You got a master crapper that lives in your house. MC 27.
My experience back in the day, and it would have been probably 2004. 2004
was your first shot at SRS?
Or 2004 or 5. It was Winchester, Virginia, and I had no clue to what I was doing. I thought I did, but after the first series, Coot and I were on the bottom. My best remembrance of this was just a big long rolling field. And there was marks in a blind, and I was trying to challenge the line to the blind. It's basically what I was doing. So I'm blowing whistles, casting, and the guy that was in the lead, his dog ran about 300 yards out. Tweet gave him about a 20-yard over, picked it up, and he's got 2 points, and he was winning. I'm like, oh, I didn't it just anyway. I got to run the second series, and
you definitely have to know what game you're playing and what the standards are, and I think that's where I'm glad you hit on that. I think that's where a lot of frustration. We were talking about that, Karen, the other night. You and I were about people getting frustrated and not understanding. One of the best things that I've been encouraged to do, Johnny Armstrong, twisted my arm. Michael, get your judge's number and start to give back, or you won't be taken seriously, and you won't be the full competitor if you don't judge and you don't do the things you're supposed to do. So I did that, and we talked briefly the other night about how that changed me as a competitor. When I see what these guys, and Jeff, but when I see what these guys are going through in the chair and everything that they have to manage and everything that they have to take into consideration when they make certain decisions. And do they get it wrong sometimes? Yeah. Have I gotten it wrong? Yeah. Have you gotten it wrong? Heck yeah. If you look deep inside, you've done some wrong stuff from the judge's chair, and all we can hope to do is get better and err on the side of the dog and be honest with the guys that are competing underneath us. And I would say, I know I use a lot of names, but I was training with Alan and Hunter years ago. And I knew Alan for years, and we were out training, and it's the first time I actually trained with him, and I trained with Hunter a few times, and Alan immediately grabbed a bag of birds and a gun, and he went out in the field, and he was throwing from the long station. And I said, why would he grab the birds? Why is he not sitting up here watching every move that dog made? And as I watched them run, Hunter was running the dogs, and Alan was communicating what was going on in places where Hunter couldn't see, and just back and forth all day long. They're evaluating these dogs as long as he could see them. And Alan told me a little later, he said, you can learn a lot from sitting out in that, in a retired station and watching the way a dog comes into that area and gets the bird, and what makes them go left and what makes them go right, and how. And I never forgot that. I said, here's a guy at the top of his sport. Pulls up, and there's 5 clients there, and he has 3 employees there, whatever he had that day. And the first thing he does is grab a bag of birds and a boom gun and a radio, and goes out to the field and starts throwing birds. And that's what I see on the successful guys, the Curtises, the Bakers, the Hunter now with his is High Road. I think Hunter's with High Road Retrievers now. He started his own. We're super proud of him. He's a partner of ours, and
nice.
And Alan and Gwen as well, and with Black River. But the things I notice that when I go to different places and I watch the successful ones train is their work ethic. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable to see how, I know I work hard, but I didn't know how hard some of these guys work, and how, from having 5-6 dogs here, it is, you think about those animals, every decision you make. Now compound that and have 40 there, what a responsibility that is, and how you can never turn turn your back on it. And I just, what's impressed me the most is I'm chasing my tail here with that, the way we started, but I think you get in the judge's chair, you get out on a boom gun, and you watch other people run their dogs, and you start to get ideas of how I can get better and do things on your own, and be ready to rejoin that group and say, hey, I've worked on this, see what you think. And the guys that care about the sport, and the guys like us that are trying to grow the sport, they're going to give you feedback. I've been a lot of places where nobody said anything. I've been a lot of places where I knew that person was trying to help me get better, and that's the ones I'm going to surround myself with.
100%. Yeah, man, I have to credit Rex Bell back in the day getting me involved with judging. Number one, like you said, it's giving back to the sport.
Yeah, some great names there. I mean, legends really that paved the way for us.
Yeah, 100%. And then number two, like you said, and he said this, he's like, man, you're going to sit there and watch how many people step up to the line and run their dog. He says, there's going to be some stuff there. You go, wow, I didn't think of that, or I haven't tried that, or that was a really good idea. He said, you're going to come up there. People are going to come up and you're going to say, holy moly, like, I can't believe they did that. I
can't believe he's even here.
Yeah, like in a negative kind of way, right?
Why'd he come?
Yeah, but no, I haven't enjoyed doing it. I did judge was in Red Wing, Minnesota. I did judge a SRS back in 2020, a couple years back there, which
so you get it.
Yeah. It was especially after running.
Maybe you can help us get it later on or something. Call us on the way home, explain that to us.
It was Matt Emerson, who I've known a little bit. He was the rep that was kind of running it and just making sure that, again, we understood how to score. And I have to say, man, it took probably, I was listening to a podcast the other day where they're saying like, hey, like probably the first 10, 12 dogs, the judges need to get into a good rhythm of scoring everybody equally, and I think it is like that, especially the very first dog.
That's why you don't write your points down to the end, because that dog you thought might have been a 5 in the first series might have been a 10 compared to everybody else.
Well, yeah, and we were talking about how it's all last night about how I think a lot of things it's all relative, right? And then so the work does become relative, but those first couple of dogs, you haven't seen the last dogs run, or when you get into the middle of it all there. But I do. I'm gonna judge my.
It's not over till you run them all, is it?
I liked running those cues where I could get away with a handle in the first series because everyone else did it.
Yeah, if I had my way, I'd have 5 18-month-old Derby dogs all the time. The Lord would just bless me with dogs that stayed 18 months old that I could just keep running. They're fun.
That Derby's one of the most enjoyable things I've done in this sport, running the Derby. Yeah. It's just you get to watch the dogs roll, and it is fun.
And they're young, and you expect them to do stupid stuff. Yeah, so, fun. And some of the goofy stuff they do when they're that age, it's just, you may as well laugh,
Well, I know, I guess the mindset should be, if you're going to enter anything in a field trial, you want to go there to win.
Absolutely.
But like I said, we entered MASH in the Derby, and we're going there to kick the tires and see.
You're going to win.
No, you got to go to win.
You're going to win.
And when you show up, you tell everybody.
We've got Karen convinced. We convinced her the other night after she brought that other bottle of bourbon out that she was going to win. Malcolm and I were convinced that she's going to win.
Just make sure you line the dog up right. I did that in one field trial, and he switched birds on me there in the 4th series, and I walked away, and I can't remember the judge's name, and he looked at me and said, well, you were going to win. And I said, dang,
thanks.
Man. Yeah. I judged the Derby a couple years back with Mike Hopkins through Alex Abraham, and we were at a hunt test recently, and I can't remember the woman's name. Older woman, very nice, and she kind of, she pulled me aside. She said, you judged me in a Derby like 3 or 4 years ago, right? I said, was here? It was at Greenwood. I said, yeah, it was here. And she's like, you kind of like scolded me. Like, why did you pick your dog up? Like, she picked her dog up. Like, we were like kind of like pulled her aside. Why'd you do that? She said, I went away kind of angry that you kind of scolded me about that. I guess maybe scold's not the good word to use. Anyway, she went back to her friends, and she's like, why did you pick your dog? You didn't know what was going to back to everything's relative, right? It was like in the 2nd series, and she's picking her dog up. Let him out there and hunt.
See if you can find him.
Yeah, and find a bird. And like you're
the
going to.
only way you can get to the 3rd is get through the 2nd, and then you got to hold. You got to figure out what you're going to let go and what you're not, and
But she said that she was not happy with me the day of the Derby, and she said after the hindsight, she said, I just want to tell you, like, I guess she was apologizing to me, but she said, because my friends he's right. Like, why did you pick your dog up? Like, did they tell you to pick your dog up? No.
And, you know, as a fellow competitor, like the judging's designed to do, you knew. Mm-hmm. I mean, you knew tensions, emotions may have been high for her. She may have been training for this thing for 18 months with this Derby dog or whatever she was running, and this might have been her first one. She might have been, like Cameron was talking about the other night, nervous. Mm-hmm. And when all those things, you know, you can create a storm there, and I think judges have to be sensitive to. You might be asking a guy a question that's been holding his breath for the last 30 seconds, wondering, am I going to blow the whistle? I mean, we've all been there where we made the little, you know, and did this lady just go through that right before you said it? You gotta, you know, you kind of got to be sensitive to that. Now, just rude. I don't have time for that. But we all can conduct ourselves a certain way, no matter what.
I guess when I'm using the word scold, that's probably not the right thing to say. But definitely, we're like, well, why did you do that? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, well,
you see a lot of that from a judge's chair.
Yeah. But anyway, she did say she actually trained with Patty Jordan, and Patty's like, yeah, he was right. Like, why did you pick him up?
Straighten him out. That's the way Baker does me, and I was like, you know, he said this. He was right, Mike. Yeah, you should have done that.
Again, it was at I think it was probably at one of those junior tests we ran. Anyway, she was sitting there, pulled me over. You
want to have, you know, to me a good junior test. I'm an advocate for a flyer in the junior. I think if somebody enters a dog now with entry fees, what they are, shoot them a flyer. Make that special for the person that may only have that junior dog, and maybe that's all that they trained the dog to was a junior level, and they're going to take him and hunt him or have a pet or, you know, a companion house animal. You know, I think we as a, not that the hunt test community needs any more momentum, but if I was judging a hunt test and I was judging junior, I would tell them, do everything in your power, shoot me a flyer.
And the junior's where most people start in this sport. I mean,
sure.
Most people come into this with, they get a dog and they get it trained, and the trainer's like, you want to run a hunt test? They're like, man, I can get a ribbon. That sounds pretty cool. And they go out there, and first place they go is a junior test. And like, what's going on? And then it's like, man, that was pretty fun. And then they go over there to a senior or master, and they're like, I think I want that. I said, I think I want to upgrade and keep training, and that's what I want. And then that's what, you know, there's junior stake is so critical to this sport, and it's such an easy test for young people to do and get people more involved in the sport. So, I mean, why not give them a flyer?
I just wish the field trial community would go away from the orange ribbons for third, because I have people come in my barn and they say, who'd you get all those master passes on? I said, they're thirds. They're $10,000 a piece thirds. Those aren't master passes.
Flyers. Hunt test flyers. If you run Del Bay,
I've run Del Bay before.
In the junior, you get a flyer in each series.
Good for Del Bay.
That's
Bravo,
awesome.
Del Bay.
Yep.
Way to set the standard, dude.
Senior, you get two, and then the master, you get first series of flyer, you get the third series.
Hunt test community,
That's
if you're
cool.
listening, push for that. When they ask for amendments to the rules, when they have their meetings and they talk about, show up, guys. You know, if you want to make a difference, if you want to change things, show up. And I was fortunate enough to go to the Perino Awards this year, and fortunate enough to win the field trial, by the way. I had to throw that in there, but
congratulations.
FC
Thank you.
Harvey.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Harvey won the Middle Tennessee, got qualified for the National, so it'd be my first National Open
Nice.
that I've been to. So I'm gonna go do the whole deal. I'm gonna help Dave bear a couple days down there, and I hear that it's just a good time and it's long and grueling, but I'm excited, which I probably should be. You know,
Yeah, 100%.
It's a goal I've worked for, and now I'm going down there, hoping to have a national champion when I leave, and everybody that's going is anticipating the same thing, and I don't think they're as convinced as I am, but yeah, I think that getting a ribbon in a junior and getting a ribbon in a field trial is there's such distance between the two. And I mean, whether you're running a derby or whatever, there's got to be, McGee and I talked about this the other night, that where's the middle road? You know, we hear, I don't know if I should, y'all good with me going into about anything. We talked about cues. And, you know, if I'm being Judgment Day honest, and that's me, cues are losing a lot of their clout. And I don't know if anybody's addressed this publicly, but I hear it. And Jeff, I'll talk about the hard things, and I don't know what the solution is, but meaning when I say they're losing clout is the field trial crowd I'm around doesn't hardly even acknowledge a cue anymore. And you notice that in the numbers going down, and the cue is such a transition period from a genuine hunt tester that may have a dog that can, and granted, there's field trial champions all over the hunt test community that never got the opportunity to run field trials or never were trained to a level to run field trials. And they're out there, buddy. If you don't believe it, look how many field champions are from master hunter bitches. You know, the bloodlines are the bloodlines, and it sure, they're exceptional at what they're doing. They could be what we would consider more. They may be as more as that person wants, but we got to figure out a way to mend that fence, kind of, in my opinion, of what brings legitimacy back to the cue. Not that a qualified all-age dog is not legitimate. I'm not saying that at all. But there's such a vast difference between a cue that pros are at and a cue that's associated with the hunt test, the owner-handler cue. And you've seen them. And to give that animal the same title, I just think, I don't know the solution. I mean, the best we could come up with the other day was make it a cue again. You know, just open it as a cue. If it's a cue, it should be a cue, in my opinion. A pro should be able to run it. It still should be associated with the hunt test if that works. But I'm gonna be careful how I word this, but the cues that I've been associated with, owner handler cues associated with hunt test, I'm not seeing the same animals there that I'm seeing at Blue Ridge, at cue that's got a derby cue,
a normal
open,
weekend,
amateur.
Yep.
It isn't the same test, and we've got to come up with a standard where we set the same standards. Because if you had an amateur that was hooked to a hunt test, say you had an owner handler amateur that they allowed you to hook to a hunt test, you'd get two judges like yourself, and Carl, and you'd set up an amateur, and you wouldn't care what dog they were bringing to the line. You would set up an amateur based off what an amateur's supposed to look like, what the factors are, and how you challenge that dog to a level where you could grant him a field championship. And I feel like now that our cues are just kind of in a place where they just go back and forth, and you got a dog that wins a cue over here, and you know the animal, and he can't compete at a cue level associated with the amateur and the open, and that's why I feel like there's a lot of disdain for it. I feel like that the field trial community is not taking them seriously anymore, and you see that there's not as many of them out there that there used to be. You don't see as many double derby cues that it used to be. I think I've got several that's never run a cue, that could win. I feel like could win. They never ran a cue, and I don't know. I think if we've got something that could tie these two communities together, it is the cue, but it's not being done the right way, in my opinion.
Copy. So if someone's listening, just want to maybe make a clarification, or not a clarification, but help them understand a hunt test. All the dogs are being judged against a standard.
Right.
There's not a winner.
Correct.
Right. The dogs are being judged against a standard, and anything field trial related, derby, qualifying, amateur, open, there's going to be a winner.
Right.
There's placements involved. So just if someone's listening, maybe is not dialed into hunt test.
So a junior get two singles. You can hold them by the collar. They don't have to be steady. You can talk to them the whole time. Senior, you do start to run a blind, you get 3. It's 2 series. I'm saying that right?
It's a double.
Yeah,
and
you
a
get double and run.
It's a double and a
water
blind,
and a land blind,
and water series.
and then master, is supposed to be the finished retriever, and I think the master tests are strong.
Yeah.
I've heard grumbling about, well, that ain't no master test. I think really the master judges that I've been around that play both sides of the fence. I went down and watched a master test not terribly long ago, and it was not anything about that was watered down. It was, you can look at something that's short and think, well, that's easy. That ain't always easy. Throw a short retired in a field trial and see how easy it is. I had 3 run right by it this weekend. Mm-hmm. My main thing is I hope that we can see dog people be dog people. And no matter if you're running hunt test or if you're running SRS, you're a dog man. And we're all challenging animals to just different scenarios essentially. And sure, all our breedings that go back to the field champions, because they've been thoroughly tested. We know that. We know they've run against the best in the world, and our breedings will go back there probably as long as we continue to do the sport. But I think dog people just need to unite and be dog people. And if you see coon hunters on the side of the road at night, slow down. Slow down. That man's trying to get his animal up. If you see fox hunters on the side of the road, slow down. Pull off the side of the road. Make sure their animal's not going to run out in the road. Just show them the same respect you'd want to, and let's just be dog people. If you see a dog box, if it's cab high and they're running dogs, and yeehaw, man, they're enjoying the dog just like we are. And I just think dog people, if you're gonna worry about your rights to own an animal, we talked extensively about rights the other night. There's a lot of stuff coming out that people are grumbling about through AKC and everything else about different things that we're being tasked to do as a judge. And some people think it's right. Some people don't think it's right. Anybody with a moral compass that thinks you need to sit through that seminar to do what's right from a judge's chair that's not the person that's going to react to that situation anyway. And we're talking about, with traffic and things that are going on and knowing what to look out for. Most of us know what to look out for. And I for one I've raised 3 children and have 4 grandchildren, and by God, I know what to look for from a predator. Don't tell me what one looks like. I know what they look like. I've seen them, and there's a lot of folks that told me they're not going to judge anymore if they're going to be tasked with that. And I don't know the answer to it. I know that we have to be aware of things, but we also have to realize we're dog people and we're there watching dogs. And I could bring up all kind of controversial stuff all day, Jeff, but just I don't back away from them for sure.
I haven't taken the seminar yet.
Yeah, and I'm going to. I committed to being a judge. They've committed to bringing what they bring to the sport. I've committed to being judge, so I am going to take it. I don't take anything from this conversation. I'm not going to do what I'm supposed to do to continue to grow this sport. I will, even if I won't do it against my beliefs, but if it means protecting a child, I'll sit through their seminar.
Yeah, I'm going to take it because I'm going to continue to judge, and but I have not yet. I won't get off too much of a side note, but hunt test recently at Finger Lakes. It was a topic of big conversation, and I guess maybe he's my age, maybe a little bit older, but he says I got 10 grandkids, and he kind of came back. Everybody was against it, and he's like, I took the seminar. He said I have 10 grandkids, and I do think it's something that should be. He said it was in his mind. It was very positive to take.
Well, and you can understand every point of view there. I mean, obviously, we we don't know what anybody. The person may be the person that takes this super serious may be a victim of that, of some type of extortion or whatever. There's some. I mean, I watch these movies now, and I'm like, I didn't even know people did that.
Well, that's the seminar.
Why did they do that to their own people? Why do they do that to each? What is? Why I didn't even know they did stuff like they're doing now. It's just sick.
That's why I'd rather spend my time around dogs.
It's just hard for me to believe that somebody can train a dog to a master level, and and love these animals and be part of a community and be a turd all in the same sense. I mean, it just, and I know they can, but it's just hard for me to comprehend that.
So you say that, and the fella, you know him, Karen, that brought this up, it's not the dog people, it's the person that possibly, you know, they hired a bird thrower. It's not. It wasn't.
Okay.
The seminar
right,
was more of him. It wasn't. It's not the people that are competing, right? It's the person that, you know, you got to have help to run these things, right? And it's the person that's in the blind. Like you don't know who that guy is, right? He's not
right. And you may have a young person helping them,
and that was more.
And let's don't get male or female.
Right.
You know, it's a young person no matter what, and
yeah. But again, that was more of the seminar spin, that the way he laid it out. That's what it was about. It's not you and I going there and running dogs. It's the people that are associated with the hunt test or field trial weekend. Again,
you know, I didn't think about that, Jeff, because you know, I'll just say this. You can cut it out or whatever you want to do, but my guys would come back and say, "Don't put me with that weirdo. You know, that dude's a weirdo. Yeah. All right, don't put me around that weirdo." And we kind of all know, well, that dude's a weirdo, and that's the same thing you're talking about. It may be just somebody that was strange.
Again, I haven't taken it yet, but that was his spin of like that's.
We'll talk again after we both do our seminar and see what we got out of it.
Yeah, 100%. Alex, he's
well, Alex is absolutely ambassador for the sport. I remember running under Alex several times and following Tucker and you know his accomplishments, and I remember, you know, one thing I remember about Alex is the way he treated me as a competitor. You know, I remember those guys. I remember the guys that I walked when I was, you know, super nervous, very first time running a dog, second time in a field trial. You know, y'all go up there and point out all the birds wrong. You know, you sit him on one that's not getting ready to go off. But I remember Alex, you know, being very patient with competitors and not trying to, you know, not a big guy for a bunch of tricks. You know, just straightforward. It's going to be tough. It's going to have teeth and I'm glad you brought his name up. I think I gave him a whistle for judging, and I went out in the first series, so maybe he thinks the same of me. I don't know.
Karen will roll her eyes because I say this story all the time, and I've said it on here a couple different times. But you know, back in the day, Alex and I, that's how we got into dogs, through Richard Barnes. Richard got us to go throw birds for Ed Forey. When we got
another great pro.
After Ed's dogs, we got to run our dogs. Alex had his male Chocolate Jackson, that was the Avery Sporting Dog.
Yeah.
I took the picture of that. And I had Coot, and we were like, man, if we did get them qualified all age. I was like, man, if we had like half of an all age point, that would be like we had field champions. And Alex he likes to tell me, you know, he says, yeah, and I had Tucker 287 all age points.
A little hard for him. I go through that a lot with the Armstrongs. And Johnny was telling me the other day, he said, well, Michael, you already qualified for the national. I said, that don't matter. He said, I like your style. I said, let's keep getting it.
For those of y'all that don't know field trials, and Michael was talking about the qualifier a minute ago. If you get first or second in a qualifier, your dog's qualified all age. If you just finish an open or an amateur, your dog's qualified all age.
Yeah. And why that's important, one other part of that we left out is if you bump into a limited all age stake, your dog has to be qualified all age to be able to compete in that event. And really, there's some of them out there, but very few. And maybe, you know, we were just bouncing ideas off each other the other night, and I said, well, maybe to bring it back, you make them be qualified all age before they run an amateur open, but then you hurt those numbers again. You know, I don't know what the solution is, Jeff, but I just think that, to me, we brought a lot more meat to the master test and to the senior. You know, and I've seen some juniors where I was like, dang, this is a junior test. I know you're holding him by the collar, but he's got to swim 50 yards and run up a hill to get his bird.
I saw a junior test the other day. They had to swim through a pile of lily pads and take cover on the go bird.
And these little excited dogs, if you want to have a good time, go judge a junior. You know, but just that's my focus right now is how do we bring, real competitors back to the queue together, because dividing them is not the answer. We've seen what that got us. When you're essentially dividing a queue between pros and hunt test amateurs, that's 80% of your entries into a queue that's associated with the hunt test. How do you bring that gap closer together and let them see both sides of the fence? And then a young man like McGee can figure out what game he wants to play. That's where, kind of we're at on it. I'm sure there's people smarter than us that could tell us why all that was wrong, but.
And then the other thing, we have friends north of the border that, their numbers are really, really struggling and down. Yeah,
we've spoke with them a couple times about the Canadian National, and they're really, anybody's interested in going to Canada and running your dog, I would say go, because the people are super, and the ones I've met just around Georgia, breeding the different studs that were down in Georgia for the winter, and they've explained to me a little bit about the way they do things and the Canadian National. It sounds like they have a ball. I've never been part of it, but they're struggling for numbers, and they're struggling for funds to keep the sport alive, and we're hope to come up with creative ways to help struggling clubs that, we get it. We see that Alvin Hatcher and I are good friends, and he'll call me every year and say, Michael, can I buy something from you to give away? And I said, no, Alvin, you know the deal. We're going to send you something for your club. He's helped us along the way a lot. And he says, well, thank you, because what a struggle it is. And some of these field trials, like you talked about, had 25 dogs in the open. They probably flew a judge in to judge that. How did that ticket alone almost took most of, what your bird fees, what, and paid your bird boys. And you essentially just competing for, you're doing it to get a title out of it. And how do we make them to where they can support clubs again? And because if it stops being, it just don't need to get any worse. Our numbers don't need to get any worse, and we need to find out, instead of having 100 dog open, how do we get 40 of those in the queue where they should be? Because you're gonna have 10 to 15% of the dogs that enter open or amateur that can't get out of the first series, and I own some of those. Where do we find a soft spot for those dogs that the owner's ready to compete with them, or? And I think the queue's the answer, but I don't know the answer to the queue.
Canada 2026, Ontario is hosting both the National and the Master National.
Yeah.
The Master National this year is on the West Coast. There's 32 dogs that were entered in their Master National.
In Canada?
In Canada.
Wow.
But
so no dogs are out, not many out towards the West Coast.
No, I think like the Maritimes, and then Ontario and Manitoba, I guess, were considered their central. But anyway, Eastern would be like the Maritimes. Paulie or Matt probably listen to this. They can tell me I'm wrong.
So you spend some time up there, and you get to know the people of Canada.
Yeah. We like to go.
Have you run some tests up there?
We have not.
Is that one of your goals? Am I interviewing you, or you can?
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So the plan was that we were going to leave about today. We were going to head north and go to the Basswood Lodge. Blaine Ternacki's up there.
I know Blaine.
And so we offered.
He's like, a good friend of mine.
He said, "Hey man, come on up and come train. So we were like, okay, run up there at Bob Owens and said the same thing. He's like, hey man, if you're going by, make sure you stop, hang out a day or two.
Bob's another good one.
We were going to take the camper, and then from there we were going to go do PEI. It's a good little bit of drive to get over there, but we're going to go do PEI, and so their master test in a weekend. They have, because they only have 12, 15 dogs in a master test. They have a master on Saturday, one test.
Finish it.
And then they have a master on Sunday. So basically you get a double, not like our double masters where kind of going on at the same time.
Yeah.
They're two separate tests. So they do one on Saturday and do one on Sunday. And quite often on a Friday they might
they use the same judges for both.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
And on a qualifying stake, or on a Friday, they'll make do a qualifying stake or have an amateur.
Good for them, man.
attached
Just
to that.
encourage those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if they're down to that, Jeff, they need. You know, if anybody's listening that wants to run a test in Canada, go help those people out. If you got the funds to get up there and you got the ambition to go run your dog different places, see the world. When you hear things like this is what I'm talking about, being ambassadors for the sport. Load up, take your money, go up there, have a ball. The people that I've met in Canada are super. I mean, super. They're super accommodating. They're welcoming. They invite you up all the time. And I bump into them around Michigan, Jeff, when I'm up there. You know, there's a lot of Upers and Canadians that come down, and they always try to encourage people to come up. If you hear of a club struggling, go. You know, look at Entry Express. And if one of your buddies is running a club in New York, like Alvin, and they've only got 20, go, you know, call your pro. Say, hey, let's go up there. Let's, not just because it's 20 entries. Sure, that's nice, you know, if you're competing, but go up there to spur them along. What you enter may make the difference in them being black and red at the end of the field trial.
Well, and like what you had said earlier about just like here, you get to travel a little bit, you get to go see things with Karen and I. That's what it's about. It's about we want to go have fun somewhere, go see different things, and
That's half the enjoyment.
Well, I
Driving up
guarantee
here,
if you and Karen are there, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll vouch for you there.
fun
if you
or
get to
people
bump
are going
into
to be
this.
sick from how much food they've eaten. It's going to be one or the other.
Karen's nonstop dumping stuff on the table. It's been great.
I've had
She even made us
a
to-go
box
boxes.
of cookies, a bag of brownies, and s'mores. And that was just last night.
You know what? If I took duck hunting seriously, I'd hunt up here with you, but I probably wouldn't go some mornings. We just eat.
well, you say that I cook in the boat each morning too. So.
Oh, well,
You
then we'd
gotta
hunt
get
that
on the
day.
boat. You got to get on the boat to eat.
What? Oh yeah. Well, duck. Yeah. Oh yeah. She's bringing up the Duck Blind Bistro. It's the ultimate outdoor oven. It's a biscuit maker. They're from. You going to get it? Karen's going to go get it.
We're making biscuits on the boat.
You just need a
We're
heat.
coming hunting with you sometime. We
just
got to
need-
do it, McGee.
You just need a heat source. We use it. I thought, no offense to Duck Blind Bistro, I thought it may have been gimmicky. Like, why do I need to use it in the house? Well, you don't have to fire the oven up. You put it on the stovetop. You got some heat, 8 minutes, and here she's got it. It is the
Look at
ultimate.
this.
Oh, wow.
It is the ultimate outdoor oven.
The Duck Blind Bistro.
Yep.
And you lay it on what? Just on a griddle?
Any heat.
Your-
Anything. Any
your
heat.
stovetop?
Yeah. Well, that's what we do in the house. Yeah. But I have a.
Let's steal that, McGee, before we go.
Put the leather handle back on it.
Yeah, make sure we get
want
that
that.
leather handle.
I mean, but you could also use it like you could use it as
Campfire?
a skillet. Like they'll be cooking sausage in it.
You
Cook
eggs
can
chicken.
make
in there,
pancakes in
bacon.
that thing.
Yeah.
You could do, you could heat your lunch, anything in there.
That's awesome.
But we were. It fits normal biscuits, like a pack of Pillsbury. Well, actually, we think that the Walmart ones are even better. But anyway, it fits 8 of them, and I have a stove. I got a burner in there, and it works out really nice. So, but yeah.
Where'd you pick that up?
It's pretty
Duck
light too.
Blind.
That's not bad to carry around somewhere.
Duck
really.
Blind Bistro. Wow, it feels like something too.
DuckBlindBistro.com.
It's all aluminum, isn't it?
I think there's still a.
Yeah, that's all right.
I think
there,
there's.
Jeff.
I think if you use code Pitboss5, you get 5% off the total bill or something.
All right.
Like that. I don't know. I can't remember.
That's pretty good.
Well, we won't need it. We'll get that one. You get 5% off your next one, Jeff.
Hey, let us know if your code still works.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it does. So here, just some real quick. I can't tell you about the about traveling and going to have fun. For people that are into hunt test, AKC hunt test, if you pass the Master National or the Master Amateur, you are automatically qualified to go to their national Master.
In Canada.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
If you didn't qualify to
Oh,
either,
the previous year you're
yes.
talking about. Okay.
And if you didn't qualify, and obviously you'd be a Master title dog here, all you need is 2 passes that you hopefully could knock out in one weekend.
So how many numbers are they getting for the national? You said they had 30 in, or what's the end game there? What do they look? Will they have 100 or less?
We followed along with Vesey ran it last year. I want to say that there was only 60 dogs.
Okay, well that's
Wow.
a shame.
I think it was like in the 60s.
When you look at what the Master National is here.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Master. I thought you meant their national. Master National, when it was at PEI last year, it was 50. I think it was 56 dogs, 56, and this year, it's like 32. So Ontario probably will.
And what was here last year? Probably 300-400.
The Master National.
Yeah.
I don't.
12.
It was in Kentucky. I think it was
1,200.
closer to 12 or 1,300. They're
Good for y'all.
Yeah.
Master hunters, good for y'all,
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
Good-
they're-
way to grow your sport.
I think the amount of people that have and dogs have been shown up to the Master National here has put them in a place where they're having to work really hard to figure out how to accommodate everybody.
12 to 1,300 at $550 a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
And I think they're planning on 800 this year in Oregon.
Next year in Oregon.
Next year in
they're-
Oregon, yeah.
They're capping the numbers on it.
They
800.
still make you throw your own bird? No. I'm kidding. Good Lord, 550 and 1,200 dogs. You should have plenty of help.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, huh?
And if you haven't been to one, it is a fun event.
It is
you go
fun,
to the dinners.
yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
people around there. The tests are
Great
really
raffles. They just make it fun.
good. It is fun.
So
Meet
yeah,
a lot of cool people.
we Karen and I plan. We like to think. We like to. I like to dream. Goals, yeah, we have goals.
Yeah,
but
those are important.
we see if we can't. All our friends from PEI are going to go to Ontario next year, so we want to try to get qualified and go to Ontario. So,
Oh, that'd be cool.
not that far. Just
Qualified Master National.
Yes.
Oh,
It'll-
good.
What time of year do they do it up there?
They're going to do it in August.
August. Okay.
Yeah. And it's man. I don't know if it's 2 hours west of Buffalo, New York.
You should do
it's-
that, McGee.
it's
you
really-
should get Stein and Shake and go do that, man.
really-
That'd
Yeah.
be fun.
It's really not that far.
I mean, if I had one I thought could do with it, I'd probably go. But
I'd head more north after and go hunt.
Well, anyway, not to get off on a side tangent
Yeah.
there, but that's kind of we do like to have fun. We do like to travel, so kind of the dogs afford a little bit of that too.
yeah,
for
me
us.
too.
Yeah.
Me too. Family sometimes gets in the not in the way, but I spend a lot of time with my wife and youngins, and they're scattered around a little bit. So but for me, even when I send them all to Michigan for the summer, and when I'm able to break away from work for a little while, and I try to plug back in while the dogs are gone, and when I'm able to get out like this, it really reminds me of, man, that you're getting a lot of joy out of this. Mm-hmm. Get a couple back home, get back to training every day, because for people like us that their brains run 100 miles an hour all day long, it is a nice break from reality to slow down and spend time with something that you care about, and see it succeed eventually.
I think somewhat truthful. I think dogs do affect my blood pressure sometimes.
Well, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both ways. Yeah.
They got me here this morning. I kind of
Oh, Harvey's calls me to see spots a lot of time. Well, if they don't, you're not taking it serious enough.
Michael, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having
to
us.
actually
dude.
meet you in
Yeah.
person. Thank you.
Thank you, too.
Great to see you again, Mickey.
And
Good to
again,
see you as well, Jeff.
you're welcome in
Yep.
North Carolina.
Thank
and guys, if you're looking for some folks to hang out with, duck hunt with, I've been all over the world, and this place is nice, and I'm sure if you come here and hunt with this fella, you're gonna have a good time.
Come hungry, and from what
you
it sounds
can't-
like, with a
you
bunch of
can't
ammo.
not. I hate to not toot his horn a little bit. I mean,
You're
these
very
guys
kind.
are
Very kind.
yeah, first class. I would recommend it.
Maybe one day this will all be finished. We'll see. We'll see what see how that. See
It's
how that
finished
works out.
enough for us, buddy.
Thank
Yeah.
you. All right, Barrows Outdoor. What is the best way for someone to find you?
Social media, email, on our website. Any way you can find us, that's listed, you'll find us.
Yeah,
Barrows.
mine will be just field trials somewhere.
trials.
Yeah, I don't do the social media thing. My wife will tell me about stuff we've got on there, show me pictures, but I just enjoy talking dogs. I know you can sense that.
100%. Barrows with an S, outdoor.com.
Yes, sir. That's where you can find us.
And I know the Blue Ribbon Whistle is many different places. Our good friend Bob Owens,
Yep.
Lone Duck Outfitters. I know he's got it on there, and I'm sure you got it a couple other different places
Yeah,
too.
and
Right?
y'all go support Bob as well.
100%.
He's a great guy.
Molly's Place Sporting Goods is opening a second location in Easton, so I think we need to get some
in there.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Get some whistles and get some bumpers.
Yeah,
in there
my
too.
theory is if you like it, tell your friends. If something about it you don't like, call me. You know, tell me what it is. Tell me what it is that you don't like, because we're developing product every day. McGee's working on stuff every day. He sends me pictures of stuff that he's working on, and if something about it you don't like, tell me how we make it better. Let's partner in this stuff and get good product out there. And you say, know that when you call our shop, that we know what you need, we know what you like. We're going to send it to you just that way.
Awesome. If you're listening or watching, make sure you follow along with Barrows Outdoors.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
100%.
I didn't understand all that following around. McGee
Now
said he's
you
got
do?
so many followers. I said, I don't even know that many people. I know darn that many don't want to follow me around. They'd get lost.
Well, guys, again, 100%.
Man, thank you.
Well, thank you,
Thank you, buddy.
Oops. I didn't mean to.
No,
Karen,
we're good.
thank you.
Thank you
as
so
well.
much.
Yeah,
We've really enjoyed it.
You're
We'll
definitely
be
the
back.
glue holding it together here. We can sense that. I have one just like you at home. Let's hear it.
Yeah, come on,
Let's
Jeff.
hear it. I'm interested. Belt one out.
All right, so this is the Pitboss podcast brought to you by our very good friends at Molly's Place Sporting Goods. If you guys didn't know, the old webpage was mymollys.com. Molly's, MOLLYS.com, is now live. So, and I just said Molly's second location actually opens end of the month off of 322 Marlboro Road in Easton, Maryland. So it is the first official Kuyu retailer on the East Coast now. Molly's Easton is. So Sitka is going to stay at Molly's in Kennedyville, and Molly's Easton will be a Kuyu store. So what was it, 2 Fridays ago? Yeah, we got 2 Fridays ago. We got to run through, and
That tells you a lot about what products carried at Molly's.
Yeah.
then.
it's a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah,
lot.
there's good stuff there.
The
We need to squeeze in there with them.
the web page has been a slow process just because they have so many freaking SKUs. So yes, we appreciate everyone at Molly's Place Sporting Goods. I used to always want to say MYOLLYS. I do the radio commercials, so I'm always like I'm just this whole MYMOLLYS.com. But so it's officially my Molly still works, but MOLLYS.com.
I'm going to check that out on the way home, McGee.
Molly's Place Sporting Goods. Up next, love, since you got it here, thank you very much. It is the Duck Blind Bistro. It is the ultimate outdoor oven. DuckBlindBistro.com. What are they going to come up in November this year?
Well, get them to bring you another one then.
I'll do that. I'll do that. They actually made a special. I need to really check in to see what happened to it. They made a Molly's logoed, and I know it got to Molly's, and I need to figure out whatever happened to it, because I think Duck Blind Bistro should be in Molly's too. But we appreciate everyone at Duck Blind Bistro, DuckBlindBistro.com. Awesome seafood boil last night. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I tried to get Crabs to go to do that, and it just didn't. They don't do crab boils, but I did call just to make sure. But
You say they're good.
Oh, they
Crabs
are.
to go. And the place we went is good. Del
Yeah.
Marva, I think, was the name of that. Super nice folks
Yep.
down there.
Yeah, they were like
Best pot in Ocean City.
That's what the T-shirt
what he
said.
said.
I
Yeah.
started to get a buddy of mine one that said "Best pot in Ocean City," and it was pretty doggone good, wasn't it?
It was. But Crabs to go, we appreciate everyone. Easily found on Route 50 and Route 589 in Berlin, just outside Ocean City. Crabstogo.com. We'd like to get some blue claw crabs, right?
Oh yeah.
We like to get them cold. So that's
Oh, yeah.
They have
Next
good-
time.
They're good. Up next, love. Since she doesn't have my cheat sheet here, I'm going to say Gunner Kennels, Gunner.com, man's best kennel, Gunner.com. The T350 is loaded with 6 of them. And I think we're going to, when you guys leave here in a little bit, I think we're going to pack up and we're going to go take them running somewhere. So we appreciate it. Everyone.
Gunners are the best, aren't they?
They are.
They're the best crate out there for sure.
you got a nice rig in the back of your truck there, but yeah,
I'm talking about a crate.
Yeah, for somebody.
A crate is the best. I have them.
Yep.
I have them in my Gator at home. That's what, when I take it on I drive to different properties around my house, and they're in a gunner kennel.
Well, we didn't show you inside the house, but there's 6 out there, and there's 6 lined up in here.
Yeah, well, I've enjoyed their koozies this week. Let me say that.
There we go.
We have definitely used a bunch of their koozies this week.
It was. You saw how much clutter's out in the shop. I was going through a box. I found 6 of these. I was going through trying to clean up stuff, and I was like, "Holy moly!" Like they're actually brand new.
The koozies work very well.
Yeah, so we appreciate everyone at Gunner.com, man's best kennel. Turtle Box Audio. They say live loud. I think their tagline should be the ultimate Bluetooth speaker. TurtleBoxAudio.com. We have a generation generation 1, 1.5, and 2. We don't have the 2.5, do we?
Well, I hear those things on the beach, and they sure are a good sound.
And last night, honestly, I made a conscious effort.
I broke a center block with mine.
What is a center block?
A center block.
A cinder block. Oh, okay. I couldn't hear you.
Those turtle boxes, they're good.
I thought you said center.
I know what you were talking about.
You said a cinder block.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said a center.
Center block.
Yeah, that's what I was.
A cinder block.
A what?
A cinder block.
What's he saying?
I don't know. He ain't mess with no cinder blocks. It don't sound like he. Look at his hands, Jeff.
Those look like all.
I ain't never seen no cinder blocks.
All American
lacrosse.
You need them soft so you can catch the ball.
Shit, your hands there ain't never seen no cinder blocks.
Turtle Box Audio, turtleboxaudio.com. D-Max, DEEMAXX, stainless steel brakes on the duck boat trailer. They're probably 6 years. I still have to do the hubs this year before the season, but there's not a spot of rust on these things. They're crazy.
Hauling that big beast around.
All around. Had them on the Loadmaster trailer. The 25-foot boat had D-Max on, and now we have D-Max brakes on the.
That's quite a rig.
Yes.
Everybody else was looking at the boat. I was looking at the trailer.
And to my hard right, they make routed coolers. It's actually a really nice cooler.
Yeah.
I've told the story. I said it last time. I'll tell you guys real quick. So we were at Finger Lakes at about 550 foot of elevation, and I sealed that bad boy up. Got home at 20 feet above sea level. I couldn't get the thing open.
Froze.
No, like the pressure. Like it has.
Wow.
The gasket is so. I literally had to take a screwdriver.
Pop it out.
Yeah, because the gasket.
What's that called, Jeff?
It's D-Max.
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 Cool. It's got wheels on it.
It does. It's actually very nice. It's got
That's
a
nice.
T-handle on the back, and but D-Max they make some great products. The latest thing I saw was different wheel lugs, stainless chrome capped, and I can't remember what the third one was, but that's the latest thing they have. But anyway, DEEMAXX. We appreciate everyone at D-Max. You already said the duck boat, right? Steve Hoover, all the way from New Philadelphia, Ohio, says it's the world's largest duck boat. Steve Hoover, we appreciate you very much. Thank you very much. DuckWaterBoats.com, punishing docks and rocks. Steve.
I want to get in that thing in rough water.
Well, you can.
I would love to just make that thing splash.
Before you leave, there's I got a set of steps on the backside if you want to walk up. And you can take a look at it if you want. But we do appreciate Steve Hoover. If you're looking for a duck boat, it is duckwaterboats.com. I'm thinking hard, love, because I just want to make sure I don't forget anyone, and I'm not going to forget. Then I usually finish up. No, I'm good. You don't need to do anything. It's huntproof.app. And that's what they have a waterfowl.
Yeah.
They have a turkey section, but I use the dog section daily. So you can.
What's that about?
They're nice guys over there. I've talked with them. They're real nice guys.
My phone's being used, but I could show you. I'll show you when we get done. But
it's a very well upgraded version of Map Marks.
Oh, okay.
And the real app.
Say the name one more time.
Hunt. HUNT. Proof. PROFF.
Okay.
I am dyslexic.
Hunt proof, so you can document your map marks on it.
Well, it's a waterfowl app first and foremost.
Okay.
So you can in your hand you can log all your waterfowl hunts, you can log your turkey hunts, and now they have the dog app, the dog section.
Oh, cool. Well, check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. So huntproof.app, and not last, not least, but Pitboss Waterfowl, PITBOSS Waterfowl. now booking for the 2026-27 season.
Call this dude, man. Call this dude. You're going to have fun. I've been a lot of places. You're going to have fun here. Call this dude. Book his hunts. Make him full.
Michael, you're too kind.
Where he
sincerely.
says, don't call. I mean, I'm booking 3 years out. That's our goal.
We did have a little coffee meeting about that this morning, so we're not really sure what and where we're adding or trying to do, but we're trying to stay ahead of the curve. So,
So you better book now.
try it. Hopefully,
Yeah, you
hopefully.
never know what this guy's decided to do. He gets 5 field champions here. He might just hit the road professionally. Who knows?
So I didn't get to finish the back part of Alex saying he had 287 all age points. I still don't have I don't have a half of an all
You're
age
going
point.
to get it. You're going to win
We'll
this
see.
derby
We'll
you're
see,
going
we'll
to.
see. We'll see.
That's going to kick you off, and you're going
Go run the derby. You will have fun.
to win.
We did say this the other night, that Alex has warned me. He says, you say you just want a half of an all age point. He says, when you get to half, he says, then you're going to want more.
You get hungry.
Then you're going to want more. So,
Yeah.
guys, once again, here, I'll turn my mic down. Guys, once again, thank you very much. You did get to hear the entire deal. Not that I'm not good at it, but you got to hear the whole thing. So we're at like an hour 20. So this is
Okay.
Perfect.
this is me rambling.
That's it, man. It don't feel like
This is
that,
me
does it?
rambling.
Just talking about dogs.
Yeah.
It goes fast,
It
don't it?
does. It does. Again,
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank you very
much.
much. Safe travels south. Envious that you get to go across the Bay Bridge Tunnel. We like going across that thing.
That place is that is incredible. This is the first time I'd seen it driving up here. And I was like, God.
Me and Baker come across
Does it end?
one day, and they had a squall, and it was about 40-mile-an-hour winds, and we were in 2 different dog trucks, Ainley boxes, nice dog trucks, and they pulled us over to the side, and they said, "Did y'all make these yourself? We're not sure we can let this go across the bridge." I was like, "Yeah, this is real deal stuff," and they escorted us across the bridge, but we were. You can get in a pickle there around that bay, but yeah, it's really neat. If you hadn't seen that,
And
golly, go see it.
we
Looks
told-
like you're just driving off in the water.
100%. We came across that snowstorm in March.
Oh, I bet that was
Back.
neat to
It
see.
was. Is the maybe you don't know it, but is the one bridge? Did they open the tunnel, the tube up yet?
No,
it's still closed.
they had some construction going on there, and they were shifting everybody to the, essentially a one-way road in and out.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So they're going to open up
a little bit of traffic there. It wasn't terrible, but it was a little bit.
All right, guys. Once again, thank you very much. Safe travels home. And as always, thinking of you, we are. But
Thanks again for
Thank
having
you.
us, man.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Here, salute.
Salute.